In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of exactly how to sell on Amazon step by step. This is suitable for beginners and also people who have been researching selling on Amazon for a while now. Selling on Amazon, if done correctly, can create recurrent income 100% of the time. However, if done wrong, 100% of the time, it will create stress and headache. So what's the first step in terms of getting started? First step is to create an Amazon seller account. Now you need to check in your marketplace whether you can actually even sell on Amazon. Because if you can't do it in your country, then you'll have to sell as an international seller on another marketplace, for example, Amazon.com. This is the UK website and I'll link it down below. And here you literally just need to click on sign up. And then what happens is it asks you for a few personal details and you can get started. And just to explain quickly how it works. To get the subscription, all you need is usually in your marketplace a debit or credit card, and then you pay the monthly subscription for a professional seller account. Now that might cost 20 to 30 pounds or dollars depending on where you are per month. Now if you don't sell, you can sometimes get that refunded anyway back from Amazon, but that's what you pay to actually have a seller account. However, that's not fully verified seller account. That's just a subscription. What you actually need to do to get fully verified is you need to register a business entity. And that can either be you on your own, self-employed, or as sole trader. So basically, you are your business in a sense, or you can actually register a company. For example, if you're here in the UK like I am, you can register a limited company. And then what you'll need to do is send all of the paperwork to Amazon, including a business bank account. And you'll need that because Amazon will pay you for your sales into a business bank account only. So you need to get one registered and set up when you're now getting started selling on Amazon. Now, if you get all of that information to Amazon, then they will give you a green light and they will fully verify your account and it will show on your dashboard. Once that's done, then you're fully ready to go. So remember, it's not just a subscription. That's just to get access to an Amazon seller account. It's to get your business fully verified, and you need to send them various bits of information, including, for example, if you have a limited company, your certificate of incorporation, sometimes articles of association, a statement of share capital, and a few other bits and bobs as well, along with your ID, for example, passport, driving license. Sometimes what they do, again, it depends on your marketplace, is Amazon will schedule a video interview for you. And all they're doing there is just confirming some of these details and kind of helping you with the process as well. So that's not really necessary, but if you need that, then you can absolutely speak to them if it's a requirement in your marketplace. So what's step 2? And just before I discuss that, at the end of this video, what I'll do is I'll actually share with you a free Amazon guide. So if you watch till the end, I'll show you exactly how to get access to that. And that will actually cover everything related to selling on Amazon. It's kind of a quick overview, and I'll also include a free product research guide. So what's step 2? Step 2 is, well, let's talk about the money now. In essence, what we're doing on Amazon is quite simple. We're buying some products beforehand and we're selling them for more money. That's all we're doing. Now, there are many different models, but the one I teach now and the one I do primarily is private label. So that's when you create your own Amazon store, your own Amazon brand. So nobody else can actually sell that particular item. And it's not that complicated. People get bogged down in the details when it comes to creating a brand, but it's quite simple. Once you found your own product, you send it in bulk to an Amazon warehouse, and then you create your listing, and then customers can start actually purchasing your product. But more on that in just a minute. The important point to make here in step 2 is, for this to work, for a private label brand to work, you need money. You cannot make money on Amazon by having no money to get started, no startup capital. And if that's a surprise or a shock for you, well then, I'm glad you're watching this video, but you need some money to get started. That's the money you'll use to grow and scale this business. Now, if you have access to funds right now, that's great. Or if you think you're gonna have access to funds soon, that's fine, keep watching. But if you have absolutely no money at all, then I'll be honest with you, this video is a complete waste of time for you because this is how to set up a business selling on Amazon. You may have heard online, there are ways to make money out of thin air, and to be honest, a lot of the time, that's just not true. So how much money do you need? Well, again, it really depends. It depends on the product that you're going after. But realistically, for example, if you're in the UK like I am, anywhere from 600 to 1,000 to get started on one product launch is usually enough to get the ball rolling. Now, if you know in the coming months you have, let's say, income still coming in or any kind of access to extra funds, that's helpful as well when it comes to restocking that product or kind of promoting that product further. Step number 3 is to find a product to sell. Now this is the fun part, but it's also the most important part in the entire process. For example, I'm here on amazon.co.uk and I've put in a search for garden lights. Now, let's say you wanted to sell a garden light on Amazon. How do you know whether this is actually a good product to sell? Well, there's a few basic things you need to look out for when it comes to product research. In its simplest form, I can break it down into 3 basic categories. The first is demand. You need to make sure that the product you go after when it comes to selling on Amazon, people are actually buying. And it's very easy to kind of check that. You can use software, for example, like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout, and I've got links to both, discounted links below. And what this does is it gives you an idea of how many sales existing listings and competitors are actually making. Now, if they're not making any sales, then there's no point going after that product. You're here to create an income from that product. So you need it to be making hundreds, if not thousands of sales every single year. So if it's not doing that, there's no point going after it. The second is margin. Now that's important because let's say you're selling a product for £20, but if you're sourcing it for £10 or £12, when you include all of the Amazon FBA fees, you're not going to make any money. So you need to check that beforehand. There has to be enough margin in that product. The third one, I could generalize it into safety. Is it safe for you to sell that product? Have you checked already whether it's a restricted product to sell on Amazon? Have you checked seasonality? Have you checked to see whether there's any other kind of red flags or issues potentially with that product? Once you've done all of that, you're pretty much good to go. But these are kind of the basic things you need to cover when it comes to looking for a product to sell on Amazon. So how do you do this part of the process? Well, apart from looking through the Amazon catalog, you need to find this product from a supplier. And you can use websites like, for example, Alibaba.com. And there you can actually source this, find out what the cost will be, include shipping and taxes in your estimates, and then work out your profit margin and work out, reverse engineer and work out how much money you could potentially make if, let's say, you purchased 100 units and you sold all of them. And if it looks like it's worth doing, you go after it. And if it doesn't, you don't. You move on to another product idea. I have a lot of useful content when it comes to selling on Amazon on this channel. So make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and then that way you'll get alerted when I have any new videos going into any part of the selling on Amazon process in a lot more detail. So what's step 4? And this is an important step because here I'm going to explain to you exactly how it works selling on Amazon, how we get the products to the warehouse, etc. So step 4 is actually getting those products to an Amazon warehouse in your marketplace kind of destination. So let's talk about that right now. So this here on the top left, this is your supplier. So you're going to be ordering all of your products online. You don't need to travel anywhere. You don't need to go speak to your supplier face to face. You order everything online, much like you do as an Amazon customer. And what you'll ask your supplier to do is send your product directly to an Amazon warehouse. Now, we don't know which warehouse beforehand. On your seller account, you'll create a listing for your product, then create a shipping plan. And on that shipping plan, it will actually show you where to send it. Now that might sound complicated. Sajjad, how do you do a shipping plan? Like I said, I've got videos on that. So make sure you're subscribed onto the channel and I'll make sure I do another video just showing you how to do that in a lot more detail if you're interested. However, just understand, once you've done one shipping plan and you follow the steps and you know where to click and what to do, it's easy to do more. But when you're brand new, you're not supposed to know how to do a shipping plan. You just need to get started with this business. That's the kind of hardest part, taking those first steps. Let's say somebody told you, look, you need to exercise an hour every single day because you need to do it for your health. And you're thinking, well, an hour is just too long. I don't want to do that. Well, break it down, just do 5 minutes. Do something to get started. So once you created a shipping plan, you're gonna send that kind of label to your supplier and you'll send it to them via email or something like that. And then what they will do is they will get the cartons ready, send them directly to the Amazon warehouse because we know now where it's going. And then when Amazon collect it, they'll get everything ready for you and they'll get it in stock. And then on your listing, it will show us in stock product. And once it's in stock, customers can start purchasing your product. That's how it works. And if you want to, you can actually send your products home first and then usually for about £5 or so per carton, per box, you can send it if you wanted to the warehouse. Let's say you wanted to look at some of your products. Let's say you wanted to order extra inventory first and only drip feed it to Amazon. Or let's say you wanted to take some pictures of your product, etc. You can absolutely do that. So that is the next step. So where do we go from here? Well, then we need to actually create an Amazon listing. So this is step 5, create a high quality professional listing. Now you actually do this parallel to ordering your product. Once your product is ready to be ordered and you've ordered it, you may have created a dummy listing just to make the shipping plan, but then you need to create a more detailed listing. And the easiest way to do this is to look through all of your competitors, take some notes, work out what seems to be resonating with you in terms of the description, have a look at the pictures, especially take care to look at what listings are doing really well, especially even more so the ones that have just launched in the last few months but already making a lot of sales on Amazon. You need to see what they are doing. Now I could spend 3 hours just going on listing optimization, but that will make this video too long. But in a nutshell, what you need to do is put your main keywords in your title and preferably in these bullet points as well. The description further down when it comes to selling on Amazon doesn't matter too much, so you don't really need to kind of worry about that. And that's kind of the whole process there. And what's step 6? Well, basically you rinse and repeat this process. So let's say you ordered one product. That's the beauty of this business. Once you've learned how to do it once, you can actually repeat that and do it again. And not every product is going to be a home run product. You're going to get some that won't sell as well. That's okay too. Just continue. Just remember, with this, you're launching more and more products. There's no ceiling to how much you can earn. Whereas in a 9 to 5, obviously I realized this many years ago, there's a ceiling. You're trading your time for money directly, and there's no way in my job I could double or treble my income. It was impossible. However, on Amazon, you can do that by scaling up your business. None of this will work. Nothing will happen unless you have belief in the business model. And this is where social media can be helpful, like here on YouTube. However, it can be a hindrance as well. Because the problem you have is you get so many people try something, like for example, selling on Amazon, and it doesn't work for them. And then they start complaining and talking about the fact that it just doesn't work. Or some people say Amazon, believe it or not, is a scam. Or they say it's too hard, or they say there's too many competitors, or there's no margins anymore, this and that. Look, the problem is if you want any excuse to not get started, you will find one. However, if you've been researching this for more than 3 months and you've not started, what are you doing? Either make a decision, take the first steps and get your account registered, look for a product and order the first product, or don't bother with it at all, but look into something else. You have to start something. You only have so much energy and time. That's kind of finite. So you need to get started on something. And if it's not Amazon, then stop watching videos about Amazon FBA. That would be my advice. Look into something else that perhaps is more suited to you. But remember, this is a real business. We're selling real products to real customers, and it does work. However, it's not easy. But why should it be easy? If it's easy, everybody would do it, and then it would just get hard again. So understand that you will believe whatever you want to believe. But if you're serious about this, follow a structured approach and ignore all of the noise. That's the kind of my best advice for you. And if you're interested in working with us, in our most recent iteration of the coaching program, we're now supporting people a lot longer throughout the process, not in terms of only their first product launch, but further launches as well. And if you're interested, you can apply to work with us, and you can do that via the link below. But what I really need to know is, what are your goals with this business? What's your kind of current situation at the moment? Because we need to decide whether Amazon's a good fit for you. It might not be. You need to devote time towards this, especially at the beginning. At least a few hours every single week, learning about the process, starting your product research. However, what we will do for you is provide you a framework, the absolute basics, the fundamentals you need to know, what the common mistakes are that people make. And we will just kind of streamline the process for you, and you'll get to those kind of goals faster. And you'll save a lot of time as well, because the worst thing that can happen is you follow kind of bad advice, and then you get some good advice, then you get some bad advice, because you're gonna lose hope, especially if your first product doesn't do too well. And that's the problem. If you don't have the belief, or you start getting doubts in your mind, you're not going to keep going. If there's any aspect of this process that doesn't make sense or you'd like more detail on, please just comment below and I'll do a kind of separate video on that. Thanks very much for listening.